What what's up, everybody? It's Ricky O live here on YouTube, Facebook, and also here on the Riverside Studio with the Sky is Falling edition of the Hockey World Order New York Ranger podcast tonight. I just wanted to jump on, spend a little time talking about the New York Rangers and what's going on in this organization, where I think they should be going, and maybe where they are going finally. As you know, the Rangers are in a tailspin that we have not seen since the Muckler days. This team is in trouble. This team is deteriorating right before our eyes. Unfortunately for the New York Rangers, there's not much help in the farm system right now. Bedard has come up. He's played fantastic. Rempe came up, had a great game, did something stupid. I'll even admit the hit was stupid. No reason to drive there. He could have glided in, pushed anything he needed to do, but putting the arm in the middle of the back and driving the guy forward. Do I think it's an 8 game suspension? Absolutely not. Is it an 8 game suspension? It was. There's nothing we could do about it at this point. This kid is labeled. He needs to be smarter. He's absolutely brings an energy to this team that Pedro Laviolette has not been able to capture anywhere else. But what he did was really detrimental to the team. They won the game, but it was just not a good thing. But getting back to where we were going, I'd like to break this down and talk a little bit about the future of the New York Rangers. The no trade clauses in people's contracts have absolutely come back and bit the Rangers in the ass. We're talking about um, the Truba situation because of a no trade. We're talking about a Kreider situation where we're going to have limited teams available that we can move this guy to. One of which I'm pretty sure is that we are going to hear is the Boston Bruins. I'm pretty sure that the Boston Bruins are going to be in on Kreider. If Kreider's actually available, don't be surprised if it's Boston. I'd like to get Fredericks Plus back. I think Fredericks is a perfect second line center for the New York Rangers at this point. He's young, he's big, he's aggressive, he's physical. He's everything we do not have right now on this team. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But if I'm Chris Drury, here's what I do. I scrap this team down to the bare minimum. I take everyone that is humanly possible tradable, and I move them. I trade everybody from K. Andre Miller to Ryan Lindgren to Smith to Kreider. I move everybody, and I'm going to say something here. I would move Quick. If we had an opportunity to move Jonathan Quick and get a second round pick for him at the deadline, I would move Jonathan Quick in a heartbeat. Has he been everything we needed? Yes. But the New York Rangers have a kid sitting in Hartford who's just playing lights out. Lights out. We need to tank this season. We need to tank the season. And I hate to say that, but there's so many prospects out there. Martone, uh, Porter Martone, 6'3", 206 pounds. You got James Higgins. You got Matthew Schaefer, Michael Misa, Roger McQueen. These kids are 6'2" to 6'5". These kids are playing lights out hockey. These kids are exactly what we need to bring in here. North American, straightforward hockey players. We are talking about guys who are not Filipino, not Kako Kako, and that's not a knock on Hedel. I love Hedel's game. I think Hedel, when he's healthy, is one of the best playmakers this team's had in a long time. But Filipino is constantly hurt. It's just not even funny anymore. The poor guy is one hit away from just being scrambled. Unfortunately, it's not a good look for him. Um, if you watch him lately, he's become a little bit more aggressive again, which is a good thing for most people. For him, I don't know if it's a good thing. He really, really, really needs to pick his spots when he gets into physical and into traffic. And when the season starts to move on, we all know what that means. That means that the game gets more physical, less penalties get called, and we got some problems. Now, Kreider. Kreider might be the first domino to fall. The next domino that has to fall in this organization is K. Andre Miller. If K. Andre Miller's management team is at all serious about their demand for a drastic raise, I would move him as fast as we possibly could. I would move him so fast his head spins. I don't know who this kid thinks he is. I don't know who his agent thinks he is. He's regressed steadily for 3 years. He is on a number of coaches now. He's been through Quinn. He's been through Gallant. He's been through Laf- Peter Laviolette. He hasn't found his game. He's not physical. He is not progressing as the offensive force as allegedly he came in as. And it's time to move on. Why people still see this guy has trade value. So here's what I want the Rangers to do. I would love to see the Rangers package Keandre Miller plus a Sakura, get an additional first round pick. I'd love to see the New York Rangers package Ryan Lindgren, excuse me, Ryan Lindgren, and get another second round pick. This is a deep draft. This is one of the deeper drafts in the last 5 years. Load up. Is it possible the New York Rangers could get 3 first round picks with what they have right now? Do you think we could package a Smith and a Lindgren to a contender at the deadline for a first rounder? Keandre Miller's definitely getting a first rounder back if we got a first round pick for Lundqvist in Dallas. Get 2 to 3 first round picks. Move everybody. Everybody's got to go. Quick's got to go. Lindgren's got to go. Miller's got to go. Smith's got to go. VC's got to go. Hell, if you could find some idiot to take Zibanejad, he'd be on the first plane out of New York. I know that, but nobody's going to take him. Kreider's got to go. It is desperation time for the New York Rangers. Let's make it happen, Chris Drury. Excuse me, guys. Terrible head cold. I'd like to know what some of you guys think about this. I'd like you to leave me a message. I'd like me to drop a message in the chat. But I think the Rangers got to drop out. You got Shesterkin tied up now. He's done. That's great. Let him ride out the rest of this year. He'll win us some games. He'll lose us some games. But I think the Rangers need to finish last in the NHL. I do. I think we need to try to tank this to get to the draft. Get a first, get a 15th, somewhere in between 12 and 15 in the first round. Get 2 picks in that first round. Load up on seconds and just rebuild this organization with North American, straightforward men. I am sick of this little Kako bullshit. He's going to be a scorer. He's got great hands. He's got speed. He's not physical. Look at Washington. Look at the fucking Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Look at the Boston Bruins. Everyone who's had success, right, is big. Edmonton is big. Okay, McDavid could skate like the wind, but he could knock you on your ass just as fast. Everyone who is successful in the National Hockey League is playing a north-south game, and they're going right through defensemen. They're hitting, they're physical, they're mean, they're everything we are not. Trocheck, great future captain of this team. He busts his ass every single night. You know what? You can get a first for him, get rid of him. Get rid of him. Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. I want to see this team finish this year like the team from the movie Major League when they walk in the on the field. He's making the mounds with his kid and their grounds crew, and they look at each other and go, "Who the fuck are these guys?" Let's finish the year with so many new names on this team. We don't know what hit us in the ass. And next year, we've got a shit ton of cap money. We've got a ton of money to chase free agents and 2 first round picks, praying for 3. And we rebuild this team. Imagine a Celebrini on this team. Could you imagine if Lafreniere actually was anything near Connor Bedard? I mean, the kid's disappeared since this new contract, but he was playing well before that, and all our hopes got up that he was finally breaking out, and poof, gone, doing nothing. If you could package Lafreniere and Fox and get us Kachuk, goodbye. Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Adam Fox, goodbye. Another one. Get us a first round pick for Fox. He's done. His knee is done. There massive damage to that knee. I don't think the Rangers let on at how severe that injury was, and it's bad. He is not the same player. He cannot jump in the play like he used to. You could actually see he's not jumping into the play as much as he used to, and he is not playing well. He's bad in his own zone. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll see what happens. Um, Does he stay or does he go? Should I stay or should I go now? It should be the Rangers theme song for the rest of the year. We should put all quit in New York on the t-shirt and just get him out of here. And if Drury can't do the job, it's time to go. And I'll be honest with you, I'm so sick of Peter Laviolette. Now, if you follow me at all on Instagram, Hockey World Order, TikTok, Hockey World Order, go check out my rant from the very first game of the season when I went absolutely ballistic on Peter Laviolette's lineup. Johnny Brodzinski. This is a really sore subject for me. Johnny Brodzinski. Johnny, you might be a nice guy. I'm going to talk right to you. We're going to be friends right now. I'm going to talk to you man to man. Johnny, I don't know if you have pictures of Chris Drury making love to a pizza. I don't know if Peter Laviolette's Sharpay likes to lick your peanut butter off your nuts, but I'm not sure why you're on this team. You are an AHL player. You are not an NHL caliber center or winger. You bring no size. You've scored a couple goals. I got to give you some credit. You get your nose dirty when you're out there, but you're a midget. You're 5'11". If you're that, you might be 5'9". We don't need any more small, timid forwards on this team. That's it. Edstrom was a step in the right direction. Love it. Rempe, step in the right direction. Get us Fredericks. Get us a 6'4" center down the middle. You remember Joel Otto, guys? You remember how good Calgary was? You remember how good he was with the Flyers? Carrick is playing well. I like him. He's physical. Trade him at the deadline. Everybody wants a checking center. Get him. Goodbye. Get rid of him. You collect assets with this team to dump them. The core is done. Do not be the New York Yankees. Do not hold on to Posada. Do not hold on to Bernie Williams and Andy Pettitte and Rivera and Jeter to their prime was done and the team fell apart. It's going to take 10 years to rebuild if you do that. Right now, you're looking at a rebuild on the fly. You could be a playoff team next year and be right back in the thick of things if the general manager plays his cards right. There's no reason to think that we cannot pull off a major trade, a Brady Tkachuk. There's no reason to think we cannot get just a top line NHL marquee star in New York with the money that's available to this team right now with the cap and with the players available. Everyone should be available except for Shesterkin, who has a full no trade. Kreider, goodbye. Goodbye. Smith, goodbye. Sam Rosen, goodbye. I heard people on Twitter, oh, you think they'd play better for Sam? Fuck Sam Rosen. That fucking guy's been around 40 something years. He's made a ton of money. He's a wonderful man. I know Sam before he was an announcer for the Rangers. His son played against my brother in hockey in New Jersey. He's a great guy. We used to sit before he was actually a Ranger commentator. He would go to Ranger games in the Meadowlands, and my family would sit next to him. And he's the nicest guy in the world. It's time to retire. Get me Kenny Albert in that booth with Dave Maloney. Take Micheletti out of here, please. MSG, I love you. I grew up with Jim Gordon and Bill Chadwick. He was the voice of my childhood. This is the worst the commentary has ever been. And I'm sorry, Sam. You're a great guy. It's time to retire. Joe Micheletti, you were never a Ranger Blue. You're a traitor. You came here as an Islander announcer. They moved you to the Ranger booth. I don't know why. I don't care to know why. Just go away. You're terrible. You look like a vampire on TV. You bring nothing to the game. And you reverse jinx on the New York Rangers every night by sucking off whoever you think is going to score until the guy actually scores a goal and jinxes us is just played out. Your comedy is bad. You're so dated early 2000s. This is not a 2024-25 telecast. TNT has the best hockey broadcast in the business with Gretzky and Anson Carter and Biz Nasty. Those guys know how to bring a hockey game to TV. Madison Square Garden, you have a lot to learn. Get Dave Maloney on TV. Get him on TV. Brian Boyle's good. Peter Laviolette, he's got to be fired. You want to make an announcer? Put him in Binghamton. I just want to see this whole organization revamped top to bottom and become a 2024-25 modern day operation, which they are not right now. It's an embarrassment. And don't question my loyalty to this team. Just look behind me. Just look at my studio. I wish I could show you my back. It's tattooed with the goalie mask from the 70s across my back. I love this team. I bleed for this team. I've been suspended from high school for beating the shit out of Islander fans. I'm disgusted by this team. I'm hurt by this team. I'm not sure what this team is trying to do or what direction they're going to go in. Um, but it's not the right direction. And the sky is falling, and so are the New York Rangers, guys. This is embarrassing. We're out of the playoff spot right now. This was a team that you guys thought was going to contend for a cup. Now, my ex partner and I won't mention his name, but when we did our show before the season, I predicted the Rangers to miss the playoffs, and everybody got on me for it. And I said they're not a good team. They're not built well. I criticized the acquisition of Smith. I said I don't understand. No one's been able to get Mika and Kreider to a permanent winger. What makes you think he's going to fit the bill? We gave up 2 seconds for him. That was a atrocious trade for this guy. It doesn't look like he's a New York kind of guy. It doesn't look like Laviolette has any confidence in him. The team is small. The team is easily outmuscled. Our defense is horrible. Lindgren is a warrior as worthy as Dan Girardi, but he's been hurt too much. You could tell even now he's hesitant to get in the scrum since he got his jaw broken. Before that, he got beat up 2 years ago in Nashville pretty bad by Lorazon, who was a free agent and available. 6'3", 225, mean. This is the guy that you pair with Fox. This is the guy you put with Schneider. By the way, this is just me spitballing here, but does anybody else realize that the best hockey Schneider played was under Gerard Gallant with Ben Harper as his partner? They were a shutdown defensive pair in the playoffs. Harper beat the crap out of Corey Perry, hit everything that moved. Schneider was able to jump into the play. Harper never jumped up. He was always back. I'm not saying Harper's an all-star defenseman, man, but he didn't even get a shot in training camp. But Laviolette was, here and made his decisions that this team was not going to be big, not going to have size, and was going to be easily pushed around. And it was obvious from training camp he did not want this team to be a physical hockey team. Big mistake. Big mistake. You know why Rempe's so popular? Look, the kid he's not even a good fighter. I love the kid. He's all over my house. I got signed jerseys, I got signed photos hanging up next to me. I love the kid because of his energy, what he brings to the game. He's tough. He bangs people. He gets involved. He gets the garden going. He has the Ryan Reeves role. Now, Ryan Reeves came here and didn't want to fight. Ryan Reeves, I will say this, Tom Wilson called him sir when he was here. Tom Wilson pulled no antics when Ryan Reeves was a New York Ranger. Tom Wilson was a pussycat with the Washington Capitals when Ryan Reeves was here. The Rangers are not at all. I seen again in the Devil game, Panarin thrown all over the ice, tackled. You're watching after the play, Lafreniere getting hit, cross-checked. There's nobody out there. There's nobody stuck up for him. Carrick had a fight in the first period. God bless him. Good fight. Great fight against Dylan, as a matter of fact. What are we going to do? I'm not saying it's the 76 Flyers, but we're not tough. We're not tough at all. We're not mentally tough. We all saw the game where Mika stood back and watched his teammate get 2-on-1, and he just got it skated away like his shoulders shrugged. Kreider's hugging everybody and not dropping his gloves. That's another good point I want to make. Chris Kreider, the last time he got angry and attempted to have a major was in preseason when Ryan Reeves got slew-footed by PK Subban, and PK's been retired for 3 years now. That's the last time Kreider lost his temper. Everything you see of Kreider now, he puts somebody in a headlock and he smiles and he talks to them in their ear. Chris Kreider better check himself with the new woke NHL because if he hugs more people and grabs more asses, he might have some charges brought up against him. He's soft. He's gotten soft. I don't understand what happened to Chris Kreider. He was not an NHL fighter, but he never backed down from nobody. He was the first one in a pile. He dropped his gloves at least twice a year. He had some good scraps in his time. He's just given up on it. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. This team has almost been castrated. Like somebody has whispered in their ear, we don't want you getting physical. I'm not sure what's going on, but there's my opinion. Tank, tank, tank. Get the draft choices. Target hard a Roger McQueen. Hard a Porter Martone. Hard you got to target these guys. 6'3", 6'5". The kid's got 54 points in 26 games. Martone. McQueen, 16 points. I'm sorry, 11 points in only 8 games. We need somebody like these people. We need some big boys in here, man. I would love this Jackson Smith, this left defenseman, 6'3", 30 games, 24 points. I mean, there's so much talent in this draft. So much talent in this draft. And it's funny because the sixth and seventh prospects are Swedes and they're tiny. They're both 5'11". Very interesting. Who goes and takes the talent and not the size? Because if you look at every Canadian prospect, they're 6'1" to 6'6". This is a big, big draft. Very big draft. This Justin Carbonell kid, too, at 6'1". Wow. 31 games, 45 points. This is a big, deep draft. Anyway, just wanted to jump on. I wanted to let you know I was first in line to hate Peter Laviolette. I don't want people coming on now. Everybody's fire Laviolette. I was first. Remember who you're talking to, guys. I've broken more stories on the New York Rangers in the last 15 years than every single beat writer combined, including Elliot Friedman. Every trade, every free agent signing came through me first. 90% of them. I shouldn't lie and say every one, but 90% of them I had to the player, to the year, before anybody else. I had non-trades in the Lundqvist situation where he turned the trade down when he was asked to waive. Everybody told me I was full of shit. When his career was over, he confirmed it. Listen up. Listen up. Sean Avery nailed it. Listen to Spittin' Chicklets. My boy Paul Blizzanette. I love that guy. Love him. Listen to that show. Rumors come out of there. They're not rumors. There's preludes or trades coming out of there. Avery met with Dolan. Met with him. Met with him. The next day, Kako's gone. Rempe's called up. Think about that. Who was pumping Rempe more than Avery? Nobody. Who was up the next day after the meeting? Rempe. Keep your ears here. Talk to me. Leave me a message. Hockey World Order at yahoo.com. Hockey World Order on YouTube. Hockey World Order on Instagram and TikTok. Happy New Year, everybody.